Hey, before we begin the podcast proper this week, I'd like to give a big shout out to all my peeps in Hong Kong fighting for the democracy and shit. Big up, innit? Also, fuck China and fuck Blizzard.
We pledge no more tears on our land. In wrath of despair we make our stand. Arise, ye who would not be slaves again. For Hong Kong may freedom reign. Though deep is the dread that lies ahead, yet still with our faith on we tread. Let blood rage and fear the voice was evermore. For Hong Kong may glory reign. Stars may fade as darkness fills the air. Through the mist of solitary trumpet blast. Now to arms for freedom we fight. With hope and with strife, with valor, wisdom, both we strive. Break now the dawn, liberate our Hong Kong. Become the birth revolution of our time. May we forever and freedom and evermore. Glory be to thee, Hong
Alright, welcome to the Podcat Potcast. This is the Christmas episode. It's the old Xmas, innit? We're celebrating the holidays. As part of our celebrations, we've had our very own Secret Santa thing here in the Podcat Podcast office, and I've rigged it so everyone got me. So I've ended up with lots of presents, and I'm going to open them later up in the podcast. Next time on the podcast, well, this segment unfortunately hasn't been uploaded to Final Fantasy Decks yet, so if you could please wait, it'll be uploaded soon. Give it maybe 3 or 4 days, the servers are still syncing, and also just wait for the creator of Final Fantasy Decks to stop playing World Classic, which he shouldn't be playing now anyway because, you know, fuck Blizzard. Hey gang, do you like books? Excellent! I'm happy to announce the official Podcat Podcast Timeline Manual, so for the first time ever you can see how everything fits together. It also goes over the alternate realities and canon of the podcast as well. It's a truly complete and definitive guide, at least until we create a follow-up. If you don't like books, we'll force you to buy it, so no worries, just let me know. Alright, it's podcast talk time. There's a lot of podcast members here today. We've got myself, we've got Nado, and we've got myself. So we're going to talk about some spoilers, and I'm going to do my best to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Big player. You know everything.
I know, right?
I don't remember what we talked about last time, but there's been like a million.
Yeah.
And by the time this goes up, there will be another million. Yep. I guess the main one is this Camelot.
Yeah. Christmas
Eldnatch. Yeah. Evanoil? Whatever. Another apostrophe card. That's not allowed. Hard to search on FFTX. Yeah. That package, right? That's come out this week-ish. If you need any spoilers, go to Midgar. It's spoiler compendium.
Midgar.blog.
It's good. That's the one. We'll put a link in it.
Yeah.
It's got sources to everything. Is it good, right? That's the question. It's Camelot, Eldnatch thing. It's really weird because both of them get cost reductions based on the other one. So if you play one and then you play the other, but then you can't do both. But then maybe if one lives, you can play the. I don't know. It's weird.
Are we playing Camelot on ice typically?
I don't think so. What does it do? If you control 4 or more dull characters,
no, the real one, the other one, the dark one, the original one. Like, are we playing this?
No, people play it.
Yeah, are we like replacing it with this? That's the question I would first ask. You know. No.
Like, people play it in Icefire. They play like a dark package sometimes. They play the backup that breaks shit. That's also a 6 character.
Yeah.
And then they play Camelot and like loop that around.
Yeah, I don't think we're replacing it.
Not really. It's hard to find room for these two, but they come with an EX searcher, which is nice. Eldnatch by itself is pretty decent. You can just dull a bunch of shit. It's a good finisher.
Mm.
Not convinced. Maybe not. It's got some sweet art though. It's got some sweet Chris Matisky art. What else is new? We have all the dark cards really. Yeah, we have all the dark cards super early, which is crazy. It never normally happens this early.
I don't know how I feel about this card. I feel like it's not going to be run over other dark cards.
It's hard. Like it's a 4-drop that like can't be chosen, but it doesn't have Brave, so it can either be aggressive or defensive. Can't be both. And then the restriction on its Fire, Ice, Lightning CP on its second ability means you're very kind of restricted on where you want to run this. I don't know. It is, if you can give it Brave somehow, so you need to be playing it Earth, and then you need to be playing it alongside Fire or of Ice, which is both pretty good. Earth, Lightning, not so much. Then maybe it's good. I don't know. The other card, the Reagan, that's way better. That card's insane.
Yeah.
The fact that it's just EX, give you any card, pretty much. Well, not summons and monsters, but like card. You play it, it's good. Like you crack Sybil for this, it's like crazy good. And you discard dark cards, kill shit. Kill a shit all. It's good.
And it's Enter the Field as well, so you know how much everyone loves Enter the Field.
It's true. Well, it just fits straight into the Earth Wind sort of shell. Like at the moment you play Camelot with Veritas and maybe Gaudes and Chaos. Now you can put Reagan instead, and it's probably better than like a Gaudes. Yeah, it's cool. You can Sybil this in, and then pick up the Sybil that you cracked to Sybil this, and do it again, and do it again. What else? I don't know. It's hard to think about it because we have so many events. Next weekend, and like I'm trying to think about this set.
Aria 3.
Aria 3 is garbage, and no one will run it. And if they do, they'll drop it.
It might be the worst 2-drop I've ever seen in my entire life. As a backup, anyway.
Like, people talk like, oh, if you play it with no, and you play it like, you can reactivate and do all this other stuff. It's like, yeah, but you have to play this card first, and then it won't activate, and then what are you doing?
It's lovely to get a backup that doesn't do its job.
Yeah.
Play this turn 1. Okay. Good, I'm done.
Yeah, play this turn 1 and then wait 10 turns until it reactivates, and then sick.
Yeah, you build your backup line first, then you use it for CP. Come on, guys.
Do you want to talk about events coming up? We can talk a little bit about the interesting formats. I don't think we've talked about Australian Nats on here yet. For those who don't know, Australian Nats National Championships is next week. Wow, when is this coming out? Oh, fuck.
It depends how long it is.
That's true. Australian Nationals is X amount of time.
19th and 20th of October 2019. That's
October.
So it may have passed.
That is the one.
It may be coming up.
If it's passed and I call everything, then I win, right? That's how it works. So we have 3 essentially Swiss rounds. So you have 5 rounds of constructed, and that's only because some people have a first round bye, so they need 5. And then you have 4 rounds of title and 4 rounds of draft. And then all of that adds together. I don't really know how that adds together. Like, is it one big Swiss? Surely they're going to have to repair, because 13 rounds with 48 competitors doesn't work. You go into your final round, you're like, I'm XO, what are you, buddy? He'd be like, I'm X5, but we haven't played yet, so.
It's, it sounds like a real good format. Good luck to them. That seems like like, I'm all for experimentation, but it seems like they're just trying to shove everything inside there.
Yeah, I'm ready for a lot of repairs. It's gonna be a good time. So yeah, you got to go with 4 decks basically. So top 8 I didn't talk about is 2-deck format. So it's best of 3. You play a deck. If you win with a deck, you can't play it again. It's the same format as it is everywhere else.
If you win with a deck, you can play it again. That would be a good 2-deck format, right?
Yeah, you win with it twice, and then you never open the other deck.
I call this a 1-deck format. It's a new thing I'm trying out.
Yeah. What other US Nats is next weekend too?
Everything's next week. Masters Final for Japan is next week, where we got Eureka going.
Yeah, Eureka's going. Hi, Eureka.
Hi. He's not here. We're just saying hi into the ether. Yeah. Jeff, Old Lostly, he's going to US Nats, and then I think you and 10 are going to Australian Nats. Yeah. Zelon, he'll be sitting at home crying himself to sleep. Myself and SFR will maybe try and watch one of them, because they'll be at all sorts of times, and I'll be asleep.
Yeah, that'd be very weird times for you
Typically,
guys.
I wake up and anything in Japan or Australia has already passed by the time I wake up. It's like, oh, it's day one before I go to bed. Okay, wake up. Oh, it's done. Oh, okay, great. Who won?
Yeah.
US is a bit better because it's only about 5 hours to 8 hours. But well, yeah.
See, I'm normally the opposite. If a US event is on, I'm not getting much of it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
But, yeah, we'll see. I'll maybe try and support Jeff. I can't really support anyone else.
I don't. Yeah, hopefully they're getting streamed. I know the Australian one definitely is, unless something goes wrong. And I assume the Masters will be because all the other Japanese events are probably a pretty safe assumption. And then the US one, there is, right? Because there's all that controversy about who's commentating it. I don't know what US Nats format actually is. I know it's 2-deck because Jeff's been talking about the 2 decks he's going to take, but I don't know. And Masters Final is also 2-deck, but because of the Typhoon, it's now just 6 rounds of Swiss cut straight to top 8.
Right, okay.
Instead of a 2-day event.
Yes.
So I think you play 3 rounds of one deck, 3 rounds of the other deck, and then that cuts to top, and then you play your best of 3, obviously. Big events, because that I think, unless I'm mistaken, that's all of the worlds done after this weekend.
Yeah, that is
that's all
the
the
last
Worlds
World
done.
qualifiers. There's no, like, Crystal Cup Dark for Worlds.
Yeah, exactly. And Worlds is pretty soon, too. It's next month. So I think that's it. This is a very interesting podcast talk with all of the members of the podcast.
Yes, thank you, everyone else.
We'll at the end of next weekend, Team Flat Earth will have 3 representatives at once.
There's only one in that.
We can't all 4
make it.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be down to you and 10 again in the final.
Scoop. It's all right. No
Oh,
worries.
but he's already qualified. Don't you want it this time? Last year, he qualified over you.
Yeah, you got to keep that going, you know. I really like it when people make jokes about him beating me. It's good fun.
Yeah, I've never made any jokes about that. Come on.
Never.
No, just another year of it would be quite funny.
Yeah, especially if I hit attack into another EX again. That'll be just what I want. That's.
Sorry, I've heard Rob's running a 0 EX list. It's really spicy.
We were testing today, and Rob's list fucked on me like 12 times in a row. So I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, good. Hey guys, it's time for Jeff's sister's Puroresu segment. Or it would be if she hadn't gone missing. What is it with this family and our inability to commit to doing something? For fuck's sake. Okay guys, got something really exciting for you this month. We're excited to have joining us someone who has been the talk of Final Fantasy TCG scene lately, following them being banned from the game. They're here to tell their side of the story in an unfiltered and almost unedited interview. So everyone welcome them now. Please say hello to Riku. Oh my god! Hi, it's me, Riku! Hey Riku. So what I wanted to talk about is, as we know, you were recently banned from the game. Do you think when you come back, if you could ever come back to the game, that you'll maybe, not be as bad as you were? Look, here's the thing about that, right? Of course, I understand I need to change, but everyone else needs to stop being a dick to me, and then I can continue to be me, because I bully the bullies. You understand? It wasn't my fault. It was their fault for bullying me, but I bullied them back. Okay. Excellent, Riku. So, we know people were abusing you a lot. Yes! Abusing me! Yeah, they were abusing you, but, I think that there is a fair notion that maybe, you should... Do you think you should have been banned for what you did, the way you were acting? Look, they abused me! You said it yourself! I did nothing wrong! Okay? I did nothing wrong! It was them abusing me, and I was sick of it, so I acted out! Fuck you! Okay, alright. Look, clearly we've hit a nerve there, right? But, do you see what you did wrong? Do you see why your actions caused you to be banned? My actions are fine! It was their fault! Their fault! Okay, thanks for joining us, Riku. Where's my money? Yeah, we'll give you the money after the podcast is recorded. Okay, thanks. Good to talk to you. Riku. All right. So now Nado recently he won some sort of tournament or some shit and qualified for Australian Nats. And I decided to do an important segment to address an important issue. You see, there's been some controversy on how to pronounce Nado's name. So I've decided to tell you how officially you say it. There'll be no Geff or Jeff debate here. How you say it is how I tell you to say it, and that's it. Otherwise, you're wrong. Doesn't matter if your name is Nado or anything like that. So let's start about it, right? Some people say Nado, some people say Nado, like Sharknado. Some people say Nayudu. But the way you say it is Nado. Thank you. End of segment.
Great.
Time for the end of podcast introductions. The host this month was me, Yo. Our co-hosts were Esifa, Nado, and Eureka. Whoosh, whoosh. Our guests this month were, first of all, 10 letters, and our second hold on. Hello? Hold on, the podcast judge is just talking in my ear here. He says I can't draw two guests at once if I'm going to be going first in the introductions. Bullshit! Fine, I'll put one back. Then, I'm sorry, I'm getting a podcast loss? Fuck!
How am I supposed to talk about you mute yourself, and I'm just going to be here like, yeah, that's good. That's shit.
You said it yourself! So I did nothing wrong!
I'm glad we went from an interview with Yo and Elmo to saying my name wrong. That's good. Yeah, cut that out. Fuck Blizzard. Don't cut that bit out, though.